All right, another lazy review. This time I'm going to talk about Upgrade. It's directed by Lee Winnell, who I didn't really know anything about. He had directed Insidious Chapter 3, and he's been in a bunch of horror movies. This was his second movie, and it stars Logan Marshall Green, who hadn't really stood out in anything to me, but he's been around. And then everybody else, I've never even heard of him or seen him in anything before. And the movie is a Blumhouse movie, so you got to know that going in. It's very low budget, and they just kind of want a return on investment. But I had heard good things about this movie. It kind of looked like an Iron Man, Matrix kind of action movie. Basically, you have this guy who his wife gets murdered, and he gets paralyzed. And you have this company, because this takes place in the near future, which I did not even know going into this. It was a very futuristic feel to the movie. But this company comes to him and says, hey, we'll put this chip in you and it'll let you walk again, but you can't tell anybody because we don't want to go through all the paperwork and all that stuff. So he puts the chip in, and then it's got a kind of a voice of its own in his head, and then this chip kind of can do other crazy things because he starts to go try and investigate his wife's murder, and gets into a few little crazy things happening. I really wanted to love this movie. I did. Like I said, I was excited for it, and there was some really cool ideas in here and some stuff that really was awesome. But as the movie overall, and the more I think about it, it was just kind of a very average movie because of a lot of different things. One, it takes a really long time to get to the scene where he gets the chip put in his head. I mean, it feels like halfway. This movie's not very long. It's about an hour and a half long, and it felt like we were 45 minutes in before that even happens. There was a lot of build-up. It takes forever to get there in this movie. So that's a negative right off the bat. The acting and cheesy dialogue is just really bad at times. Exposition is just out sometimes. And pretty much besides Logan Marshall Green, the main guy, everybody else was just really bad. Specifically, the guy who's running the company was super weird, and just it was just bad acting all around. There's this female cop detective who's around a lot. She's not very good. You never buy the relationship between him and his wife. You never get that weird connection. And besides the dude who does the voice in his head and Logan Marshall Green, everybody else is just really bad. So that's 2 strikes right off the bat. Now, the action scenes are freaking amazing, and to do it on such a low budget is so crazy. But there's 3 of them in the entire movie, and it never they're so quick, and there's just not enough of them in my opinion. There's too much other stuff going on in this movie when what I wanted to see was the crazy cool action. His facial expressions and stuff when he can't control his body is really funny, and the banter he has back and forth with the voice in his head is really good. And I hope Venom has this kind of good banter, but there's just not enough of it. There's not enough of the banter, there's not enough of the action, and like I said, it takes forever to get there. And then the ending is just I just didn't like the ending. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it goes, and I'm not going to go into spoilers, but it could have gone a different way, and I think I would have liked it a little bit better. But the way they do it, they kind of overcomplicate things and throw in, it's a very sci-fi thing to do sometimes, to just throw in a little too much twisting and too much dumbness. And if you go back and look on the rest of the movie, it kind of falls apart a little bit. So I was a little disappointed by this movie. Like I said, it has some really cool moments and some cool ideas, and the action scenes are really good, but all that other stuff kind of outweighs that good stuff for me. So if you're interested in something kind of like a Matrix, that's what a lot of people online, I kept hearing, it's like, oh, this is going to be the next Matrix. It's nowhere near the caliber of a Matrix. But it's got some cool ideas, and I'm sure it cost them very little to make this movie because you don't recognize a single person in this movie, and the acting is god-awful. And some of the effects are pretty bad too. My buddy I went and saw it with, he did not like some of the effects, and I told him, it's a Blumhouse movie, just get over those crap effects. But It wasn't horrible. I think I'm gonna give Upgrade a 3 out of 5. I think I would have liked it better if it was like a direct to DVD kind of movie and I just picked it up and then I'd been. But as a theatrical release, I don't see myself wanting to watch this again. So for me, it was just okay. Until next time, this is Rainy Cage. Peace out.